Welcome to Adaptation. This week we thought we'd do a tribute to Alan Rickman following his death earlier this month. And we're going to try and do it without crying. Alan Rickman was in several films that have made our Best of Adaptation lists, and he was our unanimous pick for Best Character Adaptation for Professor Snape. He was a BAFTA, Emmy, and Golden Globe winner, a self-proclaimed feminist, and my personal favorite Austen man. Yeah, even above Colin Firth. Born in 1946, Alan Rickman started his acting career at the tender age of 7 when he was cast in the title role of the school play. And while he always enjoyed being on stage, when it came time to actually pick a career, acting didn't seem that practical, so he went to school for graphic design. While attending Chelsea College of Art and Design, he met Rima Horton, who, in addition to being a Labour Party councillor for 20 years, was Alan Rickman's life partner. The two would live together for 47 years before they were married in 2012, and were together until his death. After graduation from Chelsea College and then the Royal College of Art, he started a successful graphic design studio with his friends, but after 3 years, decided it was time to take that leap and auditioned for the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, which he attended in 1972 to 1974. And thus begins a long and varied career. Like the best British actors, he started out on the stage, which ended up being a lifelong love of his. Even after his film career took off, he would often turn down roles in favor of returning to the theater, oftentimes to direct. But as far as his film career, the first thing on his IMDb page is the role of Tybalt in a 1978 production of Romeo and Juliet, which was just too good not to look up, which you can on YouTube. There are clips. But what I found when I watched them was this picture, which proves that he was always capable of that searing look of contempt. As you're probably aware, Alan Rickman did tend to play very intimidating characters. Villainous, one might say, although he has been quoted as saying, "I don't play villains, I play very interesting people," which is probably why he was so good at it. From Hans Gruber in Die Hard, to the sheriff in Robin Hood, to everyone's least favorite Hogwarts professor, we will never forget that withering glare. And while his trademark look certainly carries over to some of his less villainous characters, he did have a really wide range of roles. Romantic roles like Sense and Sensibility and Truly Madly Deeply, sarcasm-fueled roles like Galaxy Quest and Dogma, and somewhere in between like Love Actually. Of course, his other trademark was definitely his voice. Whether he was snapping off quick sarcasm combined with an eye roll on screen, or lending his voice to a depressed android or blue caterpillar, or reciting poetry, you always know when you're listening to Alan Rickman, and you are always really enjoying it. And on top of all of the memorable roles, Alan Rickman was really captivating just as himself. I watched a lot of interviews with him in researching this video, and he just draws you in. He really loved what he did, and he believed in the impact that it had on other people, and the way that he talks about it, it just has such a warmth to it, which is kind of ironic considering he was known for his colder roles. I've linked to my favorite interview in the info section. It's about 25 minutes, and I strongly encourage you to watch it and have a butterbeer in honor of this great actor and man who was still chasing the horizon at age 69. Tell us what your favorite Alan Rickman role is in the comments. Like, subscribe, and please check out our podcast on iTunes. Until next time, rest in peace, Alan Rickman.
Nor is the earth the less or loseth aught. For whatsoever from one place doth fall is with the tide unto another brought. For there is nothing lost that may be found, if sought.